Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 1st May 2024. So today is International Workers' Day. So I wish you a very happy International Workers' Day to all of you, and we are calling it as May Day, right? Yes. Now we are going to see the front page of Hindu, and here I am taking Delhi edition. So whatever the edition that you are having, for example Coimbatore, Chennai, Bangalore or Hyderabad, any edition, so go through that edition. So there will be no problem regarding which edition you are choosing, but you have to go with one international newspaper, okay, and even you have to see like national news and everything, okay. Okay, let's get started. And always I will be saying like you have to go through your UPSC syllabus. First, before starting your preparation, you have to go through your UPSC syllabus. So this is mandatory. Okay, so first one is your UPSC syllabus. It is very important. So why this syllabus? So in this syllabus, you will be having like a GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4. And apart from that, you will be also having your optional and also essay. So whatever the things which are given in your syllabus copy, directly, sometimes you can see those keywords in your newspaper. So that articles are at most important. And apart from that, there will be other questions you can get from newspaper, that is from your current affairs. So how can you identify which questions can be asked? We have PYQs, previous questions. So if you see this PYQs or previous questions, you will be understanding exactly how UPSC is framing question. Okay, you can know like how UPSC is framing questions and which topics UPSC are taking from current affairs. Okay, so in this way you can list out the important topics from your prelims and as well as mains from your current affairs. So because of this, these two are the guides which will be guiding you in your path. Okay, they will provide like light, they are like torch light. So now let us see the front page. Unfortunately, in our front page there is no important article at all, so you can simply leave that. Even in the city page and states pages, I didn't found any article which is relevant from our examination point of view, to be frank, because I am here not to waste your time. I don't want to discuss irrelevant articles because time is very precious for everyone. So once time had gone means we can't bring back the time. So here in this UPSC preparation, so lots and lots of things that you have to know if you are a beginner. So there is a lots and lots of syllabus, yes or no, bundles of syllabus, and daily current affairs. It will be piling up at the end of the year, and you have to complete your optional paper. You have to practice answer writing and you have to practice PYQs and test. Okay, so here try to minimize your time that you are utilizing in this newspaper by not reading irrelevant articles. Okay, so I don't want to waste your time even a single minute. I am not going to crack any jokes. I am not going to say any irrelevant thing here. So what are the thing that we are going to discuss from 40 to 1 hour of time? So this will be like actually we are focusing on content. It is not like other YouTube channels which are cracking jokes so and so, so and so. And one more thing I want to say strictly here is, if you want to write examinations in language, like if you want to write your mains only in English, then please watch only English newspaper analysis. That is a strict thing. So if you are writing your answers in English but you are watching Hindi, that is Hindu in Hindi language, or like Hindu in Telugu or Tamil or Kannada, it will be not at all useful. So I will tell you one thing, like why I am saying this thing. So I have a logical reason behind that. So if you are writing your mains in English language, but many students, they will be facing problem with English. I know that, I can understand. So because of that, here many students, they will be watching Hindu analysis or any newspaper analysis in Hindi language, or like in Telugu regional language, or in Kannada or in Tamil, etc. Yes or no? So if you're that kind of guy, like reading books in other language rather than the language you are going to write your examination. So in mains you will be having around 20 questions. So you will be having 7 minutes of time to write an answer for 150 words, and you will be having around 11 minutes of time to write answer for 250 words question. So if you are reading or understanding things in your regional language like Hindi, Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, etc., so you have to get the data in your brain and you have to convert it into English and you have to write them on the paper. So in this process here, you will be wasting 1 to 2 minutes of time. So rather than writing answer in 7 minutes, you will be taking 10 to 12 minutes for sure. It is 100%. So this is the mistake that are doing by many students. If you want to write your examination of mains in Hindi, yes, you can read Hindi newspaper or Hindi books or like Hindi news analysis, etc. But if you want to write your examination in English but you are opting for regional languages, then you will be out of the game. So this UPSC is like a very competitive examination. So you have to be like that much competitive in your preparation also. So that's what I'm saying. So if you want to clear mains, you have to do this. So many students, I'm started mentoring in this offline in Hyderabad, and I came to know like students, they want to write answers in English but they are watching this Telugu news analysis or Telugu newspaper like Eenadu like that, but it will not works. Okay, so that's what I want to make it very clear. Like if you want to write your mains in English, try to focus on the material which is present in English only. Okay, clear? Yes, now let us move back to our paper. And in city page, there is nothing much important as I said, and even the states page, you can directly move on to our editorial page. So this is our editorial page, and here this lead article, it is about Kejriwal's imprisonment. We are not at all bothering about political rivals, what is happening in the political party, everything. We are not at all bothering. So leave that. And next topic, it is about EPI. Okay, EPI. Make EPI an essential program on immunization. So here you have to know about EPI, that is expanded program on immunization. So let us see the dimensions. It is very important. Okay, extended or expanded program on immunization. So later on it renamed into universal immunization program. Okay, that is universal immunization program. In short, UIP. We will be calling like UIP. So here there is a high chance of getting your question in your prelims and mains, because it is like 50 years now. This year it is, we are celebrating like 50 years of came up with it of this API. So there is a high chance of getting your mains and as well as prelims question here. So how can you expect a question from this? So you can expect both prelims and also mains based question. You can expect prelims and mains based. So in this universal immunization program, you have to see like what is this program is about. So immunization means nothing but it is related to vaccines, right? It is related to vaccines. So from this vaccine also you have to know some basic concepts like what is this vaccine and how it works, and you have to know like different types of vaccines and different modes of vaccines. Like some will be given orally, for example polio vaccine to children, and some will be given like intramuscular, that means given to muscle or like below skin. Okay, so like that there are different types of vaccines. You have to see like which mode is that. And recently one development like COVID-19 vaccine, they had been developed like intranasal, so those drops should be given to the nostrils. Okay, those drops should be dropped into the nostrils so that you will be getting immunity. So these are the some important things that you have to see. And even under this universal immunization program, so for which diseases vaccines are providing and to whom vaccines are providing. And not only this, so this is one of the great program of our India, and we can say like it is like a success program in India. So here you have to see like what is the significance or like what is the outcome. So because of this universal immunization program, so we eradicated smallpox in India. Okay, we eradicated smallpox and India became smallpox free country. And next one is even there are reduced rate of measles also in India. Okay, and here you have to see like in world, that means I am talking about case studies. So in world, which countries are having this type of immunization programs and what was the success rate. So all these things were very important, and all these are the important dimensions that you have to see. And even I want to show one more dimension that may be new for you. Like because of this universal immunization program, yes, for sure we prevented some diseases. So because of this, there will be positive outcome on our economy also. So here you have to focus on one dimension, like so how this universal immunization program that led to positive growth and development. Okay, that led to positive growth and development. So all these are very, very important. Okay, so these are the different things that you have to see from this article point of view. And now let us try to see this article in detail. Okay, so first let us see why it is in news. Because this year 2024, which marks a significant milestone for immunization programs both globally and in India. So in India and through globe here. So this year 2024, which marks a milestone for immunization program, because it commences 50 years since the launch of this EPI, that is Extended Program on Immunization or Extended Immunization Program, whatever it may be. So here this has came in years 1974, so by WHO, okay, WHO came up with this Extended Program on Immunization in year 1974, and this program, it was introduced especially for eradication of smallpox. Okay, and we have to like improve immunization infrastructure in the countries, and we have to increase the benefits of whatever the vaccines that are available. Okay, so people, they need to take the vaccines, right? So for this purpose, WHO, World Health Organization, came up with this expanded program on immunization. And now let us move further. Okay, let us see this image. So actually I want to show one more important dimension, like so how this vaccination or immunization will also help to achieve sustainable development goals. So this is also one important thing that you have to see. So how many sustainable development goals are there? So we have 17 sustainable development goals. So out of this 17, so this immunization, vaccination, which is linked to 14 sustainable development goals. So if you want to achieve the sustainable development goals, the target year is 2030, right? To achieve all these sustainable development goals, we have to focus even on vaccination. So this is the thing which mainly said here. So which are the sustainable development goals we can achieve through this vaccination? So first stage, that is like increased prosperity. That means especially for no poverty. This is very important because health is one important asset that every family has. And next one is whenever we are focusing on immunization plus nutrition, then that will lead to healthier families, so that we can also eliminate no hunger. And next one is immunization leads to healthy lives and well-being, so that we can ensure good health, that is sustainable development goal 3. And next one is vaccines, which also support like cognitive development through better health, so that there will be improved learning, so that sustainable development goal 4, which talks about qualitative learning, can be achieved. And next one is immunization will also help for empowering of women and girls. so that we can also ensure the sustainable development goal 5, that is gender equality. And next one is with this immunization we can also focus on like sanitation, hygiene, so that we can ensure less disease. Okay, less disease means nothing but sustainable development goal 6, like clean water and sanitation can be also achieved. And next one is with this immunization we can also ensure cleaner environment, so that this renewable energy can be also achieved, that is 7. And next one is like good jobs and economic growth. So whenever people are having like good health, then they can contribute to the economy, right? So because of this we can achieve like productive workforce under a sustainable development goal 8. And next one is even this innovation infrastructure can be achieved with this vaccination, because we are going to have healthy vaccine market in our country. And next one is we can also provide like equality, that is increased equality that reduces inequalities in health. And next one is like when we are going for immunization, it will be also protecting urban public health, so that we can also ensure healthier cities, that is through this sustainable development goal 11. And next one here is climate action. So vaccines can be also helpful for mitigation of climate change impact, so we can achieve this sustainable development goal 13. And next one is with this immunization we can also ensure strong healthy systems like long-term stability. Okay, so that sustainable development goal 16, like peace and justice can be assured. And next one here is we can also go for innovative partnership with the different countries. So because of this we can achieve this sustainable development goal 17, which talks about partnership for the goals. So these are the 14 out of the 17 sustainable development goals that we can achieve. Okay, yes, now let us move on. And this program, that is expanded program on immunization, like expanded immunization program, so when it was launched in year 1978 and it has renamed as immunization program, but it has been came up by WHO in 1974 itself, but it had been launched in year 1978. You must be like very much clear about that. And it has been renamed as this UIP, Universal Immunization Program, in year 1985, and it has expanded beyond urban areas. Okay, so not only in this urban areas we came with this program, and we started diversifying that, like we are expanding them to even rural areas. And in 1992 here it became part of Child Survival and Safe Mothership Program in 1997. So under which ambit it comes under? It comes under ambit of National Reproductive and Child Health Program. Okay, so under this National Reproductive and Child Health Program we have this. Okay, we have this Universal Immunization Program as part of Child Survival and Safe Motherhood Program. So since the launch of this National Rural Health Mission in year 2005, Universal Immunization Program, which has always been an integral part of it. So always, so this program which is an integral part of, like because of this launch of this National Rural Health Mission in 2005. So this is very integral part of this National Rural Health Mission of 2005. So this program is one of the largest public health programs because it is targeting around 2.67 crore newborns, and not only that, even pregnant women are getting vaccination to certain diseases. So this program is targeting 2.9 crore pregnant women per year. And in the one of the most cost effective public health interventions and largely responsible for reduction of vaccine preventable under 5 mortality rate. So if you are providing vaccine, so we can reduce under 5 mortality rate for sure. So if you are talking about some important facts regarding this immunization program, so under this Universal Immunization Program, so immunization is providing free of cost against like 12 vaccine preventable diseases. So there is a high chance of getting question regarding this 12 vaccine preventable diseases in your prelims. So they may ask like consider the following, and they will give you vaccines, and they will be asking like which of the following are included under Universal Immunization Program. So like that you can get a question. Okay. And actually these 12 vaccines are like 9 are nationally against diseases and like 3 are subnationally against diseases. So which are those nationally against 9 diseases? Like we have diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, normally called as DPT vaccine. And we have polio vaccine, the polio oral vaccine. And next one is measles, rubella vaccine, and even childhood TB, hepatitis B, meningitis, and pneumonia, which caused by Haemophilus influenza type B. So these are the vaccines that are nationally against 9 diseases. And next one is subnationally against 3 diseases. We have rotavirus diarrhea. Next one is pneumococcal pneumonia. Next one is Japanese encephalitis. And next one is pneumococcal conjugate vaccine. And Japanese encephalitis vaccine, they are provided only in the places where they are present. That means in endemic districts. So in those districts where there is like high rate of this disease had been prevalent, so in those areas they are going for providing these vaccines. They are like sub-national, they are not given national throughout our country. Only in the endemic areas we have these vaccines. So in this area also you can get a question. And now let us see some facts regarding what is this mission Indradhanush also. So here Government of India announced mission Indradhanush in December 2019. So it is an effort to speed up full immunization coverage for all children to expectant women. Expectant women means nothing but pregnant women. So pregnant who are expecting a baby soon, okay? And to enhance and re-energize the program. So this is what this mission Indradhanush is about. So it is focusing on children, all children. And next one is like pregnant women. So especially to re-energize this program of universal immunization program. And even this program, it is also assuring like infants who are under age of 2 years and pregnant women, they receive the full complement of immunization is like mission Indradhanush ultimate objective. So what is the ultimate objective of this mission Indradhanush? So first one is it is focusing on all infants who are under age of 2 years and as well as pregnant women, so they will be receiving vaccines. And next one is the biggest concentration of the children who are particularly or never immunized have been found in 201 high priority districts, and they spread throughout 28 states in the nation according to government. And prior to the first 2 phases of mission Indradhanush, there is rise in fall of immunization coverage like 1% per year, and later on it has been climbed to 6.7% each year. And I want to give you one prelims practice question which already appeared in 2016. So please give the answer for this question in comment box. It is a very direct question. Mission Indradhanush launched by Government of India pertains to option A is immunization of children and pregnant women. And next one is construction of smart cities across the country. And India's own search for Earth-like planets in outer space. Next one is new education policy. So answer is very clear. So please let me know answer in the comment box. Okay, so this is about this topic in detail. And now let us move on to another topic. So here you can see one article. This is at most important article. Like competition conflict, US and China must manage their differences responsibly. So this article which is talking about US and China, it is not talking about India. But as an UPSC aspirant, you have to think like what will be the impact on India. So let us try to see this issue in detail. I will make you to understand what is going on. So this is not a new article, okay. So it has been going from last 2 to 3 years and even more than that we can say. So this article is talking about US-China relations. And this topic is important from your international relations, from your GS paper too. Okay, clear? So please focus and look at the board and please be concentrated for just 3 to 5 minutes. So here we have US. So let us see here India. So for India, US is friend, correct, and China is like enemy now. And one more country, let us draw here. So here we have, so which is that country which is having large west to east expanse, and which is the largest country in the world? Russia, right? Yes, this is Russia. So let us see the friendship relation with these two countries. So US is enemy and China is moving forward and Russia is coming towards China. So we can say here friend. Yes or no? Friend of China and enemy of US, that is Russia. But if you see the relationship between India and Russia, we are friends. So we can call it as all-weather friends. So I always be saying one quote, like in international relations, friends, friend will be friend. Friends, enemy will be enemy. And enemy's enemy will be our friend. So these are the three equations always works in international relations. So here India's friend is US, US enemy, okay, friends enemy will be enemy. That means for India also Russia to be enemy, but here Russia is all weather friend to India. And here you can see India's enemy is China, okay, China's friend is Russia, right? So that means enemy's friend will be enemy. Again this theory is not applying here. And here you can see like here India's enemy is China, Chinese enemy is US here. Enemy's enemy, okay, enemy's enemy is friend. Okay, so these two are enemies here and this is friend. Yes, this is coming, okay, it is like acceptable. So this is the thing that you have to see, but here these two equations are not applicable here. And now let us see like what is happening. Okay, what is happening. So here let us see the dimensions. So first let us try to understand this US-China relations, why they are enemies, and later on we are going to see like what is the implication on India. So here the first one is there is trade difference between US and China. So China is having like, China has been emerged as leading exporter. China had evolved as a leading exporter in almost all sectors. Yes or no? Yes, right. So if you see anything, if you want to get any product in the market, you can see like duplicate made up of China. The Chinese market is there. The Chinese market has been like evolving market in each and every country. So it is also one important issue. And even there was issue like tariff or taxes on imports. So US started imposing taxes on Chinese steel, Chinese iron, etc. It is not accepting by China. And next one here is US, which started supporting Ukraine. Right? So US is head of NATO, and here Ukraine approached to join this NATO. It is not accepted by Russia, right? And US which started supporting Ukraine with arms, everything, arms, ammunition, funds, etc. So it is against Russia, right? Against Russia, US is supplying all those help to Ukraine. So here Russia is Chinese friend. So it is like anti-Russia. So China is not accepting this. And even in this China, here we have South China Sea. So in the South China Sea, US started supporting other countries, and US is following International Court of Justice jurisdiction, but China is not accepting that jurisdiction. Again there is one conflict here. And even US started supporting Taiwan. Okay, Taiwan to be like an independent country, but China says that this Taiwan is integral part of China. So again there are some issues which are going on between US and China. So I listed around 6 to 7 reasons why there are all-time low relations between US and China. Clear? And now let us see here. So if you see India, why India is becoming enemy to China? So let me change the color of pen. Okay, so first reason why India and China are enemies. First one is like we have border issues, and India is not accepting like expansionist policy of China, both in continental domain and as well as in maritime domain. In maritime domain and in continental domain, so India is not accepting that. And next one here is Chinese came up with increasing of its military vessels or military bases in different countries, so that it is increasing its presence. And even with China, India is having trade deficit, and recently one report said that this trade deficit had been increased by 2.3 times. Okay, and especially during this COVID-19 time, so China led to supply chain disruptions. So because of this supply chain disruptions, it had negative impact on economy of India. And not only that, recently we also saw like China is coming up with developing of model cities. Okay, model villages, model cities across India and Chinese border. Because of that, it will be very easy for China to be occupying those areas. And not only that, China is coming up with building of dams. Okay, dams building on this Brahmaputra river. So because of this, it is going to affect water security and food security of our country, because there will be less flow of water, and even future it may lead to water wars. Yes or no? And next important issue between India and China is in Chinese they are blocking India's entry into NSG and as well as United Nations Security Council. Yes or no? So these are some important issues between India and China, which is leading to the all-time low relations between India and China, and even India and China, and as well as US and China. So what happened here in the recent time is like even though Russia is all-time friend or all-weather friend of India, it is now moving towards China. So this is one important cause of concern now. So these all are the things that you have to see from this article point of view. I hope you understand what is the geodynamics or strategic dynamics which are going on in international relations. Yes, now let us see this article in detail. So I will try to explain each and every point which is given here. So there are some keywords or like difficult words. You have to know the vocabulary as well. So I will be discussing the meaning of that as also. So here recently US Secretary of State, he talks with the top officials in China like president, and they have underscored the desire of the two countries to stabilize their relationship and result in challenges. So actually they want to come up with resolving of issues and they want to maintain the good relations with China. US want this, but China they are not accepting. And next one is here Mr. Blinken, that is nothing but US Secretary of State. He stressed that US would make sure that the competition between the two world's largest economies doesn't veer into conflict. Yes, if any country want to go for development and growth, there will be competition. So even if you're talking about our IAS Institute, we started offline in Hyderabad, right? So in this Hyderabad nearby, there are many institutes and we are having a very tough competition. So in every field per se, if you want to move forward, if you want to go for growth and development, yes, competition will be there, but it should not be a conflict. So this is the thing which mainly said by this Blinken. And in this context, President, he said that they should seek common ground rather than engage in vicious competition. So he says that, so we don't accept regarding this competition, just other than that we can engage with you. And in this context, he raised America's concerns about what he called support for Russia's defense industry and also threatening actions if Beijing does not address this problem. So here America's concerns, he said, like about support for Russia's defense industry. So as well China is supporting for this Russia's defense industry, and even Beijing does not address this problem. So this is the thing which mainly said. And China also slammed the hypocrisy. So hypocrisy, this is the word you have to know. So hypocrisy is a practice to show like higher status, like that. So, and I think like you can think like so Chinese, they are showing like a big brother attitude and even irresponsibility of US. And actually US had decided to send military aid of around $61 billion to Ukraine, and then made groundless accusations against normal economic and trade exchanges between Russia and China. So actually what happened here is, yes, you all know that US is helping Ukraine regarding arms, regarding financial help, or as well as humanitarian help, etc., right? So that is the thing which is said here. And even China, which is supporting Russia in this economic and as well as trade exchanges. So this thing which had been said by US. And China also attacked US policy regarding Taiwan and South China Sea, and urged here US regarding should not enter into Chinese sovereignty and integrity. Okay, that is the thing which mainly said. And next one is both here US and as well as China, they have mutual deep misunderstandings, okay, regarding technological military challenger, like that. And US has imposed export controls to limit Chinese growth in some important sectors like semiconductor, because US started imposing of taxes or tariffs on the goods of China, especially like semiconductors, okay. And even US started imposing of very high tariffs on this Chinese goods like steel, aluminum, etc. So because of this, yes, there is some low relations. And not only that here, so they are also going for supporting of Taiwan. US is supporting Taiwan, and US is providing some defense cooperation with Philippines, especially to address the issues in the South China Sea. So this is also some cause of concern for China. And this one is Beijing. Chinese also blamed that for US in the South China Sea tensions, and even Washington's support for Taiwan. So all these things are not liked by this China, and they don't want to have like good relations with US. Okay, so those things which are mainly said here. But in very recent past, in November 2023, so here President Xi and Biden, they met in California, and they decided to resume, that means start, resume means nothing but start bilateral military to military cooperation, and even to cooperate in some areas of artificial intelligence, machine learning, okay, and to even launch some efforts to control production of fentanyl. And even we can also address these issues of climate change and global food security. So these things that we can cooperate. So these are the things that mainly discussed in the recent past in November 2023. And in this context here, this article says that these two countries are the biggest economies in the world, and they have to prevent competition from turning ugly, and they have to focus on addressing of these issues, okay, so that we can also maintain rule-based order. Okay, so this is about this topic, and I hope it is very much clear, right? So if you have doubts, so please post your doubts in comment box, so that I will be trying to address the doubts. And now let us see the next article. So here in this opinion page, you can see this article. It is about implementing the Street Vendors Act. So actually we came up with the Street Vendors Act in year 2014 itself. It has been 10 years. So there are some keywords like hawkers. You have to know what is that. So there are some important things which are given here, like what are the challenges which are facing to implement this Street Vendors Act, and what is the way forward. And recently we came up with this initiative called as PM Swanidhi. So this PM Swanidhi, it is a microcredit facility for these street vendors. So it is like a one positive step that we have taken. And apart from that, we can also use this urban local bodies to plan street vending in cities and move away from high-handed department-led actions to actually deliberate the process for this TVC level, and especially in urban areas. So urban local bodies can come up with urban schemes and as well as policies, guiding plans, etc. so that we can also include this street vending. So these are the two important things which are mainly said here. That's it. And we are going to see this article in detail. So who are street vendors? First of all, so the people who will be using one small vehicle, on that they will be placing their goods and they will be roaming here and there, and they will be shouting to advertise their product, like tomato, like onions, 100 rupees kg, 100 rupees 5 kgs, apples, oranges, like that. So they will be like shouting, right? So here a decade has been passed since Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood and Regulation of Street Vending Acts, which came into effect. So when it came into effect from May 1st, 2014 onwards. So here what are the significance of the street vendors? So why we have to bother about street vendors? So why we have to bother? Because they are also a part of our society. So our government need to take steps for their development also. So first and the foremost point here is, these street vendors, they are often those who are unable to get regular jobs. They are not getting the regular jobs in this formal sector on account of their low level of education or low level of skills. They are not getting formal jobs. So the government recognized these street vending as a source of self-employment, especially poor people in cities and as well as towns with their meager financial resources. They will be going for this street vending. So what are the acts which are present in our country which are protecting these street vendors? So first and the foremost thing here, hawkers. So what is the meaning of hawkers? Hawkers are the people. So they will be moving from one place to another place to sell their products by advertising through their mouth. Okay, so this is the meaning of hawkers. So hawkers, they are protected under the Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood and Regulation of the Street Vending Act of 2014. And this act, which was passed on the basis of legislative recognition. So what is this legislative recognition? That says like street vendors constitute an integral part of our urban economy. So in the urban economy, so those people plays a very important role. Because in urban areas, so after I came to Hyderabad from our village, okay, so I found like for the first time, I don't know like where we'll be getting like fruits. At that time I used to stay in hostel. So at that time I found like in the end of our street itself, on every Friday there will be market. So I came to know after it was like 3 to 4 months passed away. Okay, after 3 to 4 months I am staying in hostel, I came to know that at the end of our street itself we have Friday market. So when I know that, I used to go there and I used to buy the fruits and chips, etc. that I like, that I brought to my hostel and room, and I used to consume like for entire week whatever the thing necessary I used to get. So that time I understood like, so in rural areas, so there will be no markets like this. Only the town areas they used to have. So in the rural areas there will be one shop, and in that shop they will be selling vegetables, etc. But in this weekly markets in urban areas, so many people, they will be coming together and they will be assembling in the evening time and they will start selling their products. Yes or no? So in that way here, I understood at that time itself, so these street vendors, they are contributing a lot to urban economy. So why? Because so they will be arranging the markets on Friday on one area, and the same people they will be arranging in next area or next street in the next day, like that. So that here these people, they are selling their products by like arranging as a markets on one day every week, on one day in a week in some areas. So at that time I understood that yes, these people, they forms like integral part of our urban economy. So because of this, here government need to take the responsibility. So even if you are talking about this act, so which empowers them to provide affordable and also convenient services to majority of the urban population. And this law which mandates even these hawkers, they can be removed only as a last resort, or to unless there is a clear and urgent need that to have to rehabilitate them. So if there is any need of urgent need of rehabilitate, then only we can go for rehabilitating of those people. And if you are talking about what are the constitutional provisions like which are present in our constitution, which are talking about protecting of these people, so this will be also very important. So from this area also you can expect prelims and as well as mains based question. So first one here is right to trade. So here we have fundamental right. Okay, so fundamental rights are present in part 3 of our Indian Constitution. Article 19(1) subclass G. So this article which gives the Indian citizen a fundamental right to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade or business. And next one is equality before law. So Article 14 of the Constitution states that states they shall not deny to any person's equality before law or equal protection of the law within the territory of India. And next one is we have even social justice. So we have preamble, that is a preface of our constitution or identity card of our constitution, right? So in this preamble also it is saying that India is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and we shall secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political and equality of status. All these things are very important. And even if you are talking about DPSP, which is present in part 4 of our Indian Constitution, so there are some articles which talks about this people. So first one is Article 38 subclass 1. So which is saying that yes, we have to promote, the state need to promote the welfare of people by securing social order in which justice should be provided like social, economic and political justice. And next one is Article 38 subclass 2. So this article of DPSP which says that we have to minimize equality. So equality should be minimized in income status, facilities and opportunities. Next article is Article 39A. So Article 39A which directs the states to formulate policy and to ensure that citizens and men and women they are equally and they have to have the right to adequate means of livelihood. So this Article 39A which talks about right to adequate means of livelihood. So if the people they want to go for street vending, yes, they can do that. So it is according to the Article 39A. And next one is Article 41. So Article 41 which specially or specifically provides right to work. It is focusing on right to work within the limits of economic capacity of the state. Okay, so this is Article 41. And now let us see next article. It is about the redistribution of wealth. Okay, so have you ever heard about this word called as redistribution of wealth? So I will tell you one story. So here we have government, okay, and we have society. In this society, for example, we have poor people, we have rich people. For example, rich people like Ambani, so and poor people like people who are living in slum areas, yes or no? So actually these rich people they are gaining lots of money and they are having lots of wealth, but these poor people they are not having money and they are starving to death. So here we have government. So government is nothing but the elected representatives by these people at large. So here it is responsibility of government to give support to this poor. But how this government will be spending money for the poor? So from where government will be getting money? So government will be asking these rich people to pay tax. Okay, tax on the income they are generating. So based on this tax here, so government will be spending money for development of this poor. So this concept is called as redistribution of wealth. And even if you have gone through preamble, in preamble also there is one concept which talks about redistribution of wealth. So here we are going to see this topic, and not only preamble but even DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy, and even fundamental rights. You are talking about this redistribution of wealth. So here we have to see this topic, and this topic is important from GS paper 2 under polity, and you can get like both prelims and mains based question here. So from prelims based question, so many a times UPSC asked this point, that is right to property. So right to property is not a fundamental right now, it is a legal right. So earlier this right to property was like fundamental right, but it had been removed and it had been added to Article 300A. So if you're getting a question like whether this right to property is a fundamental right or not, it is not a fundamental right, it is a constitutional right now. Okay, so now let us see this article in detail. So first let us see why it is in news. So our preamble, so preamble is called as identity card or preface of Indian Constitution, right? So this preamble, which aims to secure all citizens with social and economic justice. They are talking about social and economic justice, and next one is liberty and equality. Okay, social and economic justice, liberty and equality. So part 3 of Constitution, which lists down fundamental rights. For example, in this fundamental rights, so which are the articles talking about this justice, liberty? So please let me know. Okay, so part 3 of our Indian Constitution, so it is guaranteeing liberty. That is nothing but Article 21 of Indian Constitution, which talks about right to personal life and liberty and even equality, like Article 14 to Article 18 talks about this right to equality. And even part 4 of Indian Constitution, which talks about DPSP, that is Directive Principles of State Policy. So these Directive Principles of State Policy, which even talks about ownership and control of material resources. So this concept is also talking about redistribution of wealth. And these principles that are like central and state governments, and we have to follow and we have to achieve social and economic justice in our country. So if you want to achieve this social and economic justice, yes, we have to follow all these. Okay, there are central principles and as well as state governments, they have to follow these principles, especially to redistribute the wealth. And if you see some more details, the Supreme Court in various cases, they have interpreted the relationship between fundamental rights and DPSP. And in 1978, in order to avoid excessive litigation directly in the Supreme Court by property cases. So actually there were a number of cases which were filed in Supreme Court regarding fundamental rights. So it is against like redistribution of wealth. Okay, that is right to property. So because of this, government came up with this 44th Constitutional Amendment Act, and it had removed right to property as a fundamental right, and now it had made as a constitutional right under Article 300A. That is very important point. And even Supreme Court, now it is going to constitute a 9-judge bench to interpret this Directive Principles of State Policy. And if you are getting this discussion or like a judgment or debates in the newspapers or TV channels, yes, this will become very important. Because always remember this thing, fundamental rights, fundamental duties and DPSP. So they are like favorite areas of UPSC. Not only UPSC but even for any other competitive examination, they are very important. And now let us see next topic. It is about core sector slid, that means decreased 5.2% in March. So this article is very important. And now let us see the context. So India's 8 core infrastructure sectors. So how many core sectors are there? 8. So I will give you one mnemonic. F, E, R, N, S, 3 C's. Funds, 3 C's. Fertilizer, electricity, refineries, natural gas, steel, coal, crude oil and cement. Okay, so these are the 8 important core sectors. So in this core sectors, there is a growth moderate, that is decreasing of growth like 5.2% in March. Actually in February there was like 7.1% of growth, but it had been decreased to 5.2% in March. So there is a high growth which is seen in the cement, electricity production, etc. And there are contractions in this refineries and as well as what? Fertilizers. So that is the thing which mainly given. And if you are talking about these core sectors, we have 8. What are they? One C is coal, next one is crude oil, next one is cement, next one is natural gas, refinery, fertilizers, electricity and steel. So why this sector is important? Because it is like a crucial indicator of overall health of our Indian economy, and even it provides a strong growth rate in core sector. Okay, so whenever there is a positive growth in this sector, that will shows like there will be like good growth in our economy, positive growth and development in our economy. So what is significance? The significance here is the core sector's performance is considered as one of the key indicator of country's overall industrial and economic performance. So here, if you are having like a core sector performance is very much good, then we can say like it is an indicator of overall industrial and economic performance, and even it will be serving as a barometer for gauging health of the economy. So we can measure the health of economy based on these performance of these 8 core sectors, and even we can predict the future economic trends of the country based on how these sectors are performing. And for example, if you see the steel it is like critical mineral or material, okay, not mineral, it is like a material. It is very important material for the construction purpose, okay, for example for roofs, etc., and even for automobile sector, machinery. And even if you see electricity, it is very important for the powering of factories, homes, businesses. And if these core sector industries have a significant interconnections with other sectors, yes, we are going to have like multiplier effect, so that we can see like the contraction or the growth of this core sector that will be having impact on the overall economic health of the country. Like, right, and next one is like core industries are very essential for developing countries' infrastructure, and as well as production of steel, cement, electricity. They are very much necessary for building roads, bridges, and as well as power plants. So all these are very important, and you have to know that. And one thing I want to say is we are going to start this offline batch in this Ashok Nagar, Hyderabad. So this offline batch is going to be started from May 27th onwards. So today is May 1st, only 26 days left to start the course. Okay, so you have to take the admissions before this 27th itself, and there are very few seats left, so come and take the admissions as soon as possible. So here we are going to have interactions with IAS officer, IRS officer, IFS officer. Already we posted one video of IFS officer, and they will be guiding you, and there will be like comprehensive study material, so exclusive focus on analysis, current affairs, okay. And next one is regular prelims and mains practice. We will be also providing you prelims test series and mains test series. So everything will be included. So the cost is like very less, okay. It is affordable. For GS it is 1,20,000 rupees, and for option it is, with option it is like 1,50,000, and if you want to take options separately like anthro or sociology, it is around 30,000 rupees. So try to take this admissions as soon as possible before running out of the seats, okay, because we are focusing on first come first serve basis only, okay. So that's all for today, and before that I will show you where can you get the notes of this class. So this is our Telegram channel, Rathods IAS classes. So where we are posting like the notes, links of the classes, important things. So try to join this channel for sure. And this is our Rathods IAS Academy YouTube channel. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel, okay. So subscribe to this channel for sure, so that you will be getting like much more interesting and knowledgeable videos for sure. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this class, and thank you so much for watching, and do join this offline course.